Every thought begins long before we are aware of it. It begins with a signal. Hi, I'm Neuromoth, and before I tell you anything about myself, there's something I should probably explain first. Why Neuromoth? Right now, as you're listening to this, billions of neurons inside your brain are talking to each other. Tiny electrical and chemical signals are constantly traveling through intricate networks, shaping your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, even this very moment. Most of us never notice it. It's happening quietly, beneath our awareness. Now, think about a moth. There's something I've always found fascinating about them. In the darkness, they're instinctively drawn toward light. One follows invisible signals, the other follows light. And somehow, those two ideas felt deeply connected to me. That's where the name came from. Neuro for the invisible conversations happening inside the brain, and moth for the curiosity that keeps moving toward the unknown, even when the path isn't completely clear. Because every meaningful discovery begins the same way, with something small, a signal, a question, a moment that quietly asks to be followed. I'm a psychologist, and I'm also studying neuroscience. But if I'm being honest, my fascination with the mind didn't begin in a classroom. It began with trying to understand my own, learning how my nervous system worked, why certain patterns kept repeating, why trauma lingers, why grief changes us, and what healing actually looks like, not just in theory, but in real life. Everything I've lived through loss, trauma, attachment wounds, the patterns I carried for years, and surviving narcissistic abuse slowly pulled me towards psychology, neuroscience, and eventually here. Neuromoth is in many ways the result of that journey. This isn't just another science channel. Yes, we'll explore psychology and neuroscience. We'll dive into the brain, consciousness, trauma, attachment, memory, emotions, and the science behind what makes us human. But we'll also wander into philosophy, books that leave a mark, films that make you see the world differently, meditation, nervous system regulation, the questions that don't always have clear answers. And every now and then, I'll share pieces of my own journey too. Because sometimes a single book changes your life, sometimes it's one conversation, sometimes it's one question you can't stop thinking about. Or maybe it's just one tiny neural connection forming somewhere inside your brain, quietly changing the way you see yourself and the world around you. So, if you ever been curious about hidden corners of your own mind, if you're someone who is more interested in questions than easy answers, if you're drawn to understanding not just the brain, but what it means to be human, then I think you'll feel at home here. Welcome to Neuromoth, and to every mote finding its way toward the light, I'm truly glad you're here.